Innovators Q&A. I think I cut out there for a second. I'll do that intro one more time. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Adibi IP Group Live Innovators Q&A, bringing you guys answers to common intellectual property questions on patents, trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets. Our objective here is to create awesome content that's helpful for all of you in developing your IP portfolios and just having general IP understanding as you guys navigate the IP world and your businesses. So we're hoping that this content brings you guys a lot of value, and we want to continue doing a lot of deep dives on content in terms of looking at actual portfolio teardowns for various companies. We created a whole series of episodes on how you guys can go about filing your own trademark applications for your clothing brands or your mobile apps, and I'm sure we're gonna have a lot more awesome episodes coming up in the future. So I hope you guys find it helpful. If you guys have specific questions that you guys want us to cover on the show, please send them to Victoria. You can email her at victoria@adibiip.com. That's victoria@adibiip.com. We also have a community number, so if you would, please join my text community. It's 415-943-5193, 415-943-5193. We'd love to have you part of our texting community. So let's get today's show started. This is episode number 89, coming at you guys strong every single day of the week. Yesterday, Victoria, why don't you give us a quick recap of what we did?
Yesterday, we looked at Quibi's trademark, and we also looked at one of their patents too.
So as you guys know, Quibi was a probably the biggest flop of the year. Lot of investment money, billions. I think it was around 1.7 billion money all in, and big names on it. McWhitman, big names. And so we wanted to do just a deep dive in their IP portfolio. So we checked out their trademarks, and in navigating their trademarks, we saw they had 5 registered, 2 pending. And so, but in that process, we also discovered they had an interesting patent. And so we went and checked that out too. So go back, watch episode number 88. And again, a lot of these teardowns, the purpose is to just give you guys techniques so that you guys can research your competitors and also get a sense of the competitive landscape if you guys are going into a new line of business. And also, it's also good just to see how other people protect their intellectual property. And so I think that you guys will find this helpful because it'll give you guys creative ideas when you guys are pursuing your own paths to procuring IP protection. So Victoria, today's episode 89, what will we be doing today?
Today, we're following up our episode on Snapchat's design patents, and we're looking at their trademarks.
Awesome. So unlike yesterday, we're going to see there's a lot of trademarks on Snapchat. And again, no surprise there. I mean, extremely successful mobile app company, probably one of the top of this decade. And so no surprises, they have a lot of trademarks on file, both word marks and design marks. Like for example, their ghost icon is probably the most iconic and the one that most resonates with everybody. And whenever someone sees that, they know exactly what we're talking about, Snapchat. So again, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this start to finish. Real quick, I wanna just start off by adding my page to the stream. Now, one thing I want to just show you guys, I know we did this in last episode, but I just want to just show you guys. So if you guys go to snapchat.com, the first thing you want to figure out is what is the true name of the entity that actually holds the IP. The way you can usually find this is if you go to the very bottom of the page, there's usually going to be a privacy policy or a terms of use. And so once you find that, so let's look at Privacy Center. Let's check out their privacy policy. And it's going to be an agreement between you and the company. So they're going to usually have the legal company's name. So you're going to want that when you start doing this investigation. So first thing is you want to go to tsdr.uspto.gov, and you're going to click on search trademarks. Now, once you're here, what you can do is you can do a basic search right here. So thanks, Victoria, for throwing that banner up. That's awesome. Really, really helpful to all our viewers. I'm sure they appreciate it. So once you click the basic word mark search, you can just select the owner and select Snapchat. Now, I like to put it in quotes so that we just focus on all companies that have Snap Inc. So this is going to make sure that we don't include other companies that might have Snap in their name. So as long as you do owner name and address and Snap Inc. And then I'm going to focus on just their live marks, just because they have a lot. And I want to just give you guys valuable content here on this episode. So 107. If you guys were curious, I'll just show you 107 versus a number of dead ones, which are 46. So good amount of trademarks that they have on file. So let's scroll down. Let's start at the very end. I really want to just get a full picture of their company. So I like to start at the beginning just to see Root's foundation, how they started, and how it progressed from there. So if you look here, this is a very, very early mark. What you also discover is this was actually purchased. So looks like it's purchased by Telepex. This probably isn't going to resonate with any of our viewers, but as we go down, again, here's another one. Not a mark that you probably would associate with Snap, but again, no longer the owner. It looks like now it's owned by Snap Interactive Inc. Now let's move on though. I think you're going to find that this one's probably online social networking services. So here you go. This is the Snap mark. This is probably the original. Oh, it looks like it's owned by Snap Interactive. Interesting. But let's take a little look into the prosecution history, get a sense of when they filed it. So if we click on documents, go down, let's take a look at the specimen they filed back in 2011. Snap Interactive, huh? Let's take a look at later specimens 17. Huh. Oh, interesting. So maybe this doesn't have anything to do with the actual. Maybe it was owned and then sold. Let's take a look at the assignment proceedings. You get a lot of information. So it looks like it was sold to Snap. Okay, so Snap purchased it from this other company called Snap Interactive. So I had it backwards. Interesting. And this is the actual trademark assignment document. Again, all this information is publicly available, so you guys can learn a lot by researching and studying, seeing how other people handle trademarks and how they actually handle the assignments. You can actually see it. Pretty cool. So let's move on. Let's take a look at some of their later marks that they probably filed. Let's go back. Let's see, is this? Again, looks like another one that was purchased. So it was registered by Snap One and then purchased by Snap Inc. So again, no surprise, right? So as companies grow and they develop, they want to further protect their brands, and so what they do is they buy up other competing brands that might look similar to theirs. So very, very common. This is actually a really, really interesting episode for you guys, especially you guys that are trying to build big businesses. You might be in the situation where you're buying up brands from other companies because you're so big, and you want to completely own a particular word, like for example, Snap. So cool episode. I'm really glad that we're starting from the beginning because we can see when these registrations were actually made. I mean, this is back in, applied for it in 2013, right? And again, not originally filed by Snap, but another company. And then eventually Snap came in and then purchased it from them. And again, here's another one right here. So pretty interesting composite mark. We've got the design element and the word element. So let's look at some more recent ones. Let's see if we can find some where they were actually ones responsible for doing the initial filing. Okay, so this is probably not the original. Hipstamatic was the original filer of this Snap mark here. This is covering downloadable software. So again. It's fascinating to see how brand expansion, large whale just buying up these other brands from other companies. Again, now this looks like because it's in Venice. This looks like this is was registered Snapchat. So this is probably the original Snapchat filing. Let's just take a quick look. Let's take a look at the prosecution history of this mark. See what specimen they submitted. Okay. And here you go. Here's the original specimen for Snapchat. Pretty interesting. And again, we're looking at, this was filed back in 2012, so a while ago. Now let's go back. Let's see. So that looks like the very, very first Snap mark that was originally filed. And here is their iconic ghost. This is sort of the mark that is probably most associated in the consumer's mind with Snap, in my opinion. I mean, there's people are going to disagree on this, right? But there you have it. So this is a design mark, no word elements, purely visual design. And if we take a look, we can see this was filed for back in 2013. And you can see that it was filed under Section 1B, and so the specimen wasn't submitted until 2014. And this right here is probably this probably will look familiar to most viewers. This is probably the Snapchat that you guys are all familiar with. So let's see if there's more. Oh, it's just single document. And class 9. Let's look at their class. What class they went under? So class, I'm guessing it's class 9. Class 9. So because it's downloadable software, so that's the big tell. That's how I knew right away it must be under class 9. So let's see what other interesting marks that we can find. Snap score. Let's see. So this was also filed by Snap. So this is for rating. Okay, so this is a scoring. This is very interesting. So this is a score that's attributed to. Let's see if I can get more information on this. So rating service which rates individuals, users' education, professional experience, and networks in order to gauge their merit for career assessment and development purposes. I am not familiar with this. I don't know if any of our viewers are, but how do you stack up against your peers? Interesting. Okay. So it's a scoring system I guess they used, and looks like you could sign up with LinkedIn. Very, very interesting. So this is back in 2014. Not sure if Victoria's familiar with this at all. I had never heard of SnapScore. So also, not to belabor the point, but let's just, out of curiosity, they got a reminder to file their 6th year renewal, which to me indicates that they possibly, because they got the reminder, they're possibly going to abandon it, right? So if you don't renew your trademark after the 6th year after registration, then it'll go abandoned. So this might be a candidate for abandonment. I don't know. We could do a Google search if we wanted to. We could search for a Snap Score space Snapchat and see if it's still they're still using it in any branding. So pretty interesting. Like I've said in past episodes, trademark also gives you sort of a history of a company's brand, right? You can see how it's developed. You can see how certain branches might have fallen off. In other words, they didn't pursue certain brands, but did pursue others, right? So always really interesting. This looks like probably one that was also purchased. Again, purchased from Snap One. Let's see, Snap Field Safe. This is also this looks like also a purchased one. So what's interesting is that the Snap One company, you can quickly tell just by this logo here. They had this where they would file Snap and then followed by another word. Seems like we've seen quite a few of these. So now this looks like another Snapchat. So this looks like the core word mark again. And so originally it looks like it was Snapchat Inc. and then they changed the name to Snap Inc. That's my guess just based on looking at this. Let's see, this is Snap. So this is just the word Snap. Again, you see the ghost in the background. So this is probably a Snapchat filing. Yep. And again, this is filed back in 2015. So now what we're going to see is we're probably just going to see more of a progression in history as the app developed. We might see, okay, so this is class. Okay, so they're also doing class 38, which is usually up for streaming. 41, this is going to be educational content and entertainment. And 42 is going to be any sort of SaaS service, so software as a service features. So, and again, originally filed by Snapchat. So Snap Channel, let's see, this is Snapchat. We've seen many Snapchats, no surprise. So this is brand expansion here. Now they're Snapchat under 41, 42, and 45 also. So pretty interesting to see the progression and how their brand was built and grown and how they just piled on the filings, more and more filings. Again, Snapchat originally, 3V. Okay, let's see what this is. Advertising, marketing, promotion services, also by Snapchat. Let's see how they use this one. This one is not so familiar to me. So again, maybe our viewers know right away what this is about. Okay, 3V advertising. It looks like this is an maybe an advertising arm of Snapchat. 3V. Okay. Out of curiosity, I'm just wondering if they tell us what that means. Why? Sometimes there's information as to what the 3V, like what the actual Yeah, it's not being very helpful. Okay. Snap ads. Okay, so now we're going to see more and more of their marketing and commercial ads. So advertising. This is a business service under class 35. Let's see. And okay, more 38. So this is streaming basically. Let's see what else we can find. Okay, I'm just curious. I haven't actually seen the logo in that fashion with the word like cutting over the ghost. So I just want to see it in action. So you can always do that by looking at the specimen. Or I can try. I'm having issues with scrolling here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, okay. Though I will say this isn't a very helpful specimen. And oh, I see. There's many pages to it. That's why. Oh, here we go. So, yeah, one thing I gotta say to you guys though is I'm not seeing where that exact logo. Oh, here it is. Maybe no. Let's see if we can find it. I'm just looking for that particular mark and where it actually shows up in these specimens because I'm not as familiar. Let's see. Maybe it might be it might be buried in here actually. It might be buried. Oh, yeah, still not seeing it. Well, all right. Kind of surprised they didn't have a problem with that specimen, just because I'm not actually seeing it on their download page. Anyways, let's go back. Let's check out some more. So we have more Snapchats. Again, now you're going to see. Okay, so now they're just going into different classes of goods. So 36 electronic money transfer, and then if we take a look at this other one, 35 and 42. Let's see, Bitmoji. Okay, let's check this out. Okay. So 9 downloadable software, and then also entertainment services under 41, also filed by Snap. Is this a design? Let's see. No. Oh, I see. So they filed 2 because they wanted to cover other classes. This one, you also see they have some swag, buttons, belt buckles. If you guys are curious, we can take a look at what the actual specimens look like. Those are usually highly informative because they actually show how the mark is actually used in the marketplace. So let's just take a quick look. Let's take a look at the specimens. Okay, here you go. Here's your tote bag, your journal. And it's under this Bitmoji brand. Meta Markets. Let's see what this is about. Okay, this looks like probably something that was purchased. Again, yeah, purchase a Meta Markets group. Not sure the history there, why, but that would be interesting, trying to research and figure out why they thought Meta Markets was worth acquiring, or how it somehow got acquired. Snap Cash. Okay, this has not been registered yet. It looks like it's still pending. Very interesting. This was filed back in 2014. Wow, still pending. Kind of makes you wonder. Okay, so they haven't started using it. Okay, so this is a really good example, guys. So they're filing requests for extension. So it's already been allowed, but Snap isn't quite yet ready to actually use the mark in commerce. So what they can do is they can file these extensions, and each extension buys them 6 months at a time. So this is a really, really perfect example. So they've continually filed extensions. They filed 5. They can file 1 more. And then they're eventually going to have to actually use it in commerce in order to maintain registration of the mark. So perfect example. So right now you can probably make a prediction. Are they going to try to come out with Snap Cash, some sort of additional feature to their application? Who knows? But you know that they've cared enough that it's definitely on their radar because they filed 5 extensions, right? So they've invested resources in keeping this on their docket and maintaining it alive. And so again, really, really interesting way to study and research your competitors is just checking out what trademarks they have and which trademarks they're still filing extensions of use in. Loving this. This is covering hats, and this is probably not related to Snapchat at all. So again, if you guys are doing the search, you want to make sure that some of this sometimes is going to happen, but Yeah, you're gonna get these marks that come up in your search. Let's take a look at this one. So this is the classic ghost. And again, just covering a whole slew of classes, various mobile, downloadable mobile apps, advertising, money transfer, streaming, publishing services in terms of content, and then SaaS, and then also business services in terms of social networking under 45. So, no surprise there. So this is probably also going to be another ghost. Oh, okay. This is the icon. Okay, very cool. So this mark is also can show you a lot because if you develop software products, you can also file trademarks on your icons, and this is a prime example of this, guys. So think about how you guys might do that for your own application. So you might have icons. We saw that yesterday with Quibi too, also, by the way, where they actually had their icon trademarked. So great tool. I also want to point out that they claim yellow as a feature of the mark, and again, that yellow is is a very strong brand association with Snap. So I'm not surprised that they covered the color. I also want to point out that they actually mention mobile apps. So they actually say the mark consists of a color yellow on a square carrier with rounded corners designating an icon for a mobile application. So yeah, you might take notes. You might want to consider using that. Another interesting point I want to show you guys is that they're not claiming the square shape or the ghost design as a feature of the mark, right? So what they're really focusing on is they're focusing on that color yellow. So just the yellow portion. So very interesting. And again, this is about being creative and how you go about protecting your brands and trying to get as broad coverage as possible. So again, Snapchat again, this might be a different Snap, but no, it's not. Wow. Okay. Good luck, America. Not familiar with this brand. Let's see. Let's check out their specimen. Okay. Good luck, America. Very interesting. Okay. Not so familiar with this brand, but again, this is their specimen. This is what they submitted, and they have a valid registration, registered. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that brand. Snap to store. Okay. There you have it. Probably there's storefront. Okay, so another word mark. Covering probably 35, so probably different description of goods and services. Snap publisher. Okay. Let's go lenses. So this might be their sunglass company. Nope. Okay. Oh, I see. Augmented reality software. Very interesting. Also registered. So now we have more. Okay. So not familiar with this icon, but again, filed by Snap. So very interesting. If you guys are curious, you can obviously go in and take a look at documents and actually see what specimen they submitted on this icon, or I assume icon. Here it is. Okay. So lensstudio.snapchat.com. So it's related to their lenses. Okay. Very fascinating. I'm assuming we're going to find some more of these icons. I can tell because there's, okay. So that's that symbol there. And here's another symbol right here. Yeah, so I hope you guys found this episode helpful. I just wanted to do some deep diving into, so we've seen some of these already. Again, really good way to research your competitors, get a sense of the competitive landscape, get a sense of the industry. And one really good way to do it is looking at trademarks and just seeing what they filed extensions on. So we saw some of that as well. Snap your milestones, time snap. Let's see if this is filed by Snap. Nope. Okay. So again, some of the hits on this search are going to cover some non-Snap Inc. by itself. No surprise. Friendmoji. Let's see if this is Snap. This looks like Snap. I can tell Santa Monica. So. And Bitmoji we already looked at. Snap Pixel. Let's see. Okay, filters. Okay, so again, these are the filters. And then also spectacles. So now, we remember when we did the episode on design patents, we saw that they had spectacles. So possibly, we'll probably be seeing some of these on their consumer devices. Yeah, hardware peripherals. So this right here is the mark filed in 2016 on their spectacles. And as you guys recall, we saw some design patents on that last episode as well. Okay, and this right here is their stylized logo for their spectacles brand, where they were selling those eyeglasses that had the cameras on the sides. I'm guessing this is probably also related to, no, okay, 38, class 38. Snap lenses, okay. Now let's take a look at some of their earlier marks. I don't want this episode to go too much longer, but I did want to just finish out Snap. It's a lot of really interesting stuff here. We can definitely learn a lot by taking a look at what marks they filed, spectacles. All right, Snap Foundation, this is going to be on their donation arm, charitable donations arm. Again, notice when it was filed in 2017, so by then they probably already had the resources to do more charitable giving, so it makes a lot of sense. Snap Map, okay, so now we're going to probably see a lot of additional, okay, here's that icon, that design, and then we're going to see a whole slew of Snap word marks where they probably are just expanding the brand, covering different goods, descriptions of goods and services. This is just your classic brand expansion, where you pursue more and more classes because, for example, perfect example, licensing of intellectual property, right? As the company grows bigger and bigger, that mark, that brand is going to cover more and more services, more and more goods, right? It's just a natural progression of business success. And so you see it play out. You see it play out in the actual trademark portfolio, which is what makes this so interesting. And frankly, what I think is a very worthwhile exercise, especially if you guys have companies that you guys are trying to grow into big businesses. Really consider, study, analyze, see how the big fish have done it, just so that you guys can learn. I think it's quite informative, and you guys can use some of these tools. So for yourselves, again, because it's all public, it's all out there. And the other big thing that you have to remember, so this is more Snap, again, just more expanding out, covering different goods and descriptions. Let's see what Panel is. I haven't heard of Panel. Also owned by Snap. Looks like it was sold, though. There's a new owner, Placed LLC. Entertainment services, downloadable computer software. Not as familiar with this mark. I don't know if any of our viewers are, but we can take a quick look. Look at their specimens. See what this was on. iTunes preview, Panel app. Interesting. Okay. Placed Inc. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Another Snap. Okay. Peripherals. Okay. Again, just brand expansion, class 9 hardware. So this is probably going to cover for example, their spectacles. Here's a design. Okay. Not familiar with that, but there you have it. Okay, so software development kit. Okay, so this is more for probably their developers. Again, this is probably SDK. Yep, software development kit. Okay. So a lot of these big companies will provide software development kits so that you can build on top of their platforms. And so they might have brands associated with their software platforms that they're providing to the public. And so they'll also file trademarks on both the brand and also logos if they have logos associated with their SDKs, as they're called. A new way to look. Let's see what this is. So a lot of people ask us about slogans. Again, it's possible to trademark a slogan as long as it's actually used as a source identifier. So good exercise. We can take a look at how they actually submitted specimens that were successful for this, because as you can see, it was actually registered successfully. So let's see how they used that. Okay, so here it is right here, a new way to look. So it's on the box. So these are, remember, the spectacles that have the cameras on them. So there you have it. Prime example of how you can trademark a slogan for your product. It just has to function as a mark. It has to be associated with the good or service, and it has to be at the point of sale. So like on the packaging. Pretty cool. Again, I'm really hoping you guys are finding this episode helpful. Snap Originals. Again, more of these Snap fill in the blank, Snap fill in the blank, and then just expand, cover different different channels of goods and services. Another design patent. Okay, again, not too familiar with this one. Kind of curious to see how they're actually using it in commerce. Let's take a quick look, see what specimen they submitted. Great tool. Okay, Snap Originals. Okay, so this is associated with Snap Originals. Obviously, these are going to be grouped together, so you'll be able to more quickly navigate. So Action Emoji 41, also by Snap. Mobile media and entertainment services. Okay, animated and non-animated content. So Snappables, also Snap Inc. Okay, computer software, gaming. And maybe this is the logo for Snappables. Yeah, gaming. So this is going to be, so if I go and look at the specimen, if I had to guess, right, I'm probably going to guess that it's going to show Snap Gaming and be associated with games. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, Snap Games. There you go. So no surprise there. Snappables. All right. Entertainment services. Okay. Also Snap Inc. Snap Code. Downloadable interactive software. Okay. Snap Code. Action Emoji. So we have the extension on Bitmoji. Again, also owned by Snap, and then downloadable apps, basically. Downloadable software. Launch Snap. Oh, business services. All right. So developing business marketing strategies. And again, this is not a Snap Inc. mark. Again, as you guys saw, a couple of these companies have Snap Inc. in their name. And so they're going to come up in the search, even though they aren't owned by Snap. So maybe this might be, no, this is Snap Inc. Okay. But again, business conferences. So those of you guys that put on business conferences, you could consider filing a mark on your brand under Class 35. So arranging and conducting educational conferences, and then also arranging and conducting business conferences. So let's see, yellow. Oh, just the word yellow. Wow. Business consulting services. Also owned by Snap Inc. Wow. So again, really, really powerful. I mean, the word yellow, can you imagine owning that? I mean, they own that mark related to business consulting services. So pretty can be a very, very powerful way to protect your intellectual property and the goodwill of your business. So don't ever discount trademarks, and they're fundamentally, they'll last as long as you use them, which is one of the reasons why they're so powerful. Again, not related to Snap. So this is Snake Snap. So I don't want to mislead anybody or just introduce confusion. But again, some of these search results are going to show companies that have Snap in their name but aren't actually Snap Inc. This is Snapmoji. We saw this before. Oh, actually, we're almost done. So let's just keep chugging along here. Marketing and advertising, also Snap Inc. Land marker. Maybe this is the design. Nope, just different. Okay, so this is just covering same word mark but different classes of goods and services. Okay, interesting. Not familiar with this icon. Let's take a quick look at it. So let's see. Oh, actually, it looks like it hasn't. There's no statement of use yet. So maybe they're planning on using it in the future. So yeah, let's keep. So how about Lens Creator? Snap Inc. also. Okay. So again, not yet registered. Oh no, sorry, it was registered. So Lens Creator, Snap Camera. Again. We saw earlier, section 1B. So they don't yet have a registration yet. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this looks like a popsicle. I'm not sure if Victoria's familiar with this one, but let's see if she's not. She's waving, nodding her head. Let's see, specimen. Okay, Zenly best friends only. Interesting. Okay, not familiar. Maybe this is like the kid version of Snapchat or something? Millions of users not part of Snap. Oh, okay. So here's a good example. So this looks like it was probably purchased. Maybe it was an acquisition. So we look at assignments, none recorded. Okay, so maybe they just purchased the company and the goodwill of the company, and so they filed another mark on it. If I had to guess. Okay, retail store services. All right, because now they're selling avatars. AR bar, downloadable software. Again, Snap Inc. So. AR bar, I'm assuming, is augmented reality, but I'm not sure. Here's the ghost again, different classes. So, and then I'm guessing we're probably going to see some more ghosts. Yep, more ghosts. Again, just expanding out the brand, just covering different descriptions of goods and services under their already existing classes that they own. Very traditional. We sell us already. Go and Herping. That's a very strange name. Again, Snake Snap. Okay, so this is not Snapchat. I'm guessing this is also not Snapchat. Not Snapchat. Bitmoji though, that's probably going to be Snapchat. Yeah, Snap. Same with that one probably. And then let's take a look at these last two. Okay, so another Ghost. And again, more and more classes. Now we've got keychains, key rings, writing instruments, bags, furniture. They even have furniture on here, cushions, like pillows probably, blankets, towels. So this is just your classic, huge success. Now we're just going to brand and just build it out, provide different services, different goods. So yeah, this is awesome. I'm really glad you guys tuned in and watched this deep dive. I really hope that it was helpful to you guys. Snap Focus, education services. Ultimately, I just want to give you guys tools to be better informed and be able to compete more effectively in such competitive landscape that we're in. So thanks for watching. That was a full, complete deep dive on Snapchat's trademark portfolio. Hope you guys found it helpful. Hope you guys saw how icons can be protected, how brands expand out, how they secure names with intent to use applications, and then file extensions until they're actually ready, as we saw with Snap Cash, to actually so-called cash in and actually use the brand on their new goods and services that they put out. So thanks for watching. This was episode number 89. Looking forward to seeing you guys to our next episode 90, which will be airing tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys have questions about IP, send them to Victoria. She's at victoria@adibiip.com. Send her any question you have about IP. We'll try to get it answered on the show. And then as always, please join our text community. It's 415-943-5193. Would love to have you on our text community. Thanks for watching episode number 89. Have an awesome day, and we will see you tomorrow.